only 2 of these series in August of the 9 are against teams over 500. And not only are those series against teams over 500, they're true World Series contending teams. The Phillies were one of them. The Phillies this past weekend, and they played the Astros the weekend of the 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's not a weekend, actually. I don't know why I said that. So this was a huge test for the Tigers yesterday and Saturday and Friday on the road. Obviously, yesterday ends on national television. And unfortunately, I think they failed this test. 3 different games, 3 totally different stories, all of which have the same theme. Scott Harris did not do enough at this year's deadline. Game 1, I call it the bullpen meltdown. Almost a laugh in the face of what happened to Scott Harris. Somewhat poetic of a way to kick off, not the second half of the season, but the post-trade deadline era of the season. You take a 3-run lead in the 3rd inning, and you roll that all the way into the bottom of the 7th. Feeling good. You're on top of a team that's, in a way better league in the National League, one of the best teams, and you've got a 3-0 lead on it post-deadline. You're feeling pretty good about it. Jack Flaherty has another great outing, but they throw him back out there in the 7th. He's got bad numbers in the 7th this year, to say the least, Kyle. A 9 ERA and a 3 whip. Round numbers. I could sit here and say they shouldn't have threw him back out there, but Castellanos was up, so you had the split that favored, Jack Flaherty. They end up, he ends up giving up a single, and they take him out instantly. Holton comes in. He walks a guy. Back-to-back flyouts. It leads to a run. Okay, whatever. Then they bring Vest in to close out the inning. This is all the same inning, bottom of the 7th. Vest gives up 2 singles, and the game is tied 3-3, just like that. And you're just thinking to yourself, my God, there's no way the bullpen is going to ruin this. The irony of it, of begging for new bullpen guys, and then the bullpen coming in after an excellent Jack Flaherty outing and ruining it. Wenzel Perez raises his hand in the top of the 8th and says, I got us, don't worry. By the way, Wenzel Perez, outstanding weekend, including the home run on Friday, also went 5 for 10 over the course of those 3 days, made some incredible plays in right field as well. So he ends up taking the lead for the Tigers in the 8th inning, and then the bottom of the 8th inning, Hannafy comes in and just wrecks everything once again. 2 base hits and a throwing error. 2 first. He tries to make the out at first. And just like that, the Tigers have surrendered the lead once again. Herter has to come in for the final out. So not once, but twice, the bullpen blew the game on Friday night. And then the irony of Juan Duran coming out of the game, coming out of the pen for the Phillies with that electric entrance and shutting down this Tigers team, a guy that the Tigers, I don't know if they realistically had a chance of getting Duran just because it was an in-division trade, but you look at a team in the Phillies and just the principle of going after one of the top relievers available and them instantly coming in and picking up a save. That hurt. That stung. Especially what happened on the other end with the Tigers bullpen blowing the game again, not once, but twice. Game 2, Saturday. It was a home run galore. And that's exactly what the Tigers needed a dose of. Here's a fun stat for you. The Tigers right now ranked 8th in home runs. It's pretty good. Is it good enough? History says no, at least recent history. Of the past 5 seasons, every World Series champion has been top 4 in home runs. You'd have to go back to the 2019 Nationals, the last team that wasn't top 4 in home runs that ended up winning a World Series. Tigers are 8th. Again, that's not bad, but it might not be good enough. Keith, Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter, and Javier Baez all home run in Saturday's game. Again, awesome. Might not be enough home runs still is the overarching theme. The Tigers decided to not go get a bat at the deadline. There's a guy with 36 home runs available. You let the Mariners go get him. We'll see if Scott Harris regrets that decision. If the Tigers aren't hitting the home run ball like you'd want in the postseason. So, again, they end up winning this game 7-5. Skubal goes 6 scoreless innings before giving up 3 in the 7th. Hey, by the way, here's another fun stat for you. Tarek Skubal, 8 games in his Tigers career of 10 Ks, 0 walks. No other Tiger has 7 games. He's got 8th. That's in franchise history, by the way. Vest comes in, gives up another 2 runs in the 8th inning. So I don't know what's going on with Vest. He's supposed to be this number 1 option. They elect, again, not to go get a lights-out closer because they believe in Vest. And guess what? Vest had a very poor weekend. They end up winning this game still. It's totally, like feel-good win, enough home runs. You still gave up 5 runs, but it is what it is. And Finnegan makes his debut, the actual guy that the Tigers went and got at the deadline of value. Again, could have gotten better options. You decided to go with the B-plus option rather than any of the A options like the Phillies did with Duran. He comes in, picks up the save. Everything's good on Saturday. Game 3 rolls around. Sunday night baseball. Everybody's watching. It felt like a real playoff game. You're in Philadelphia, one of the most hostile crowds in all of professional sports, specifically baseball. You're on the road, and you've got 41-year-old Charlie Morton on the mound. Charlie Morton delivered. This is another guy that the Tigers traded for, 11th hour. This was, I swear to God, I think this trade happened at 5:59, the day of the deadline, 1 minute before. They end up making this trade, and he comes in and delivers a really awesome game. 6 innings, only gave up 1 run, gave up 4 hits. The only problem is, this was the Houdini game because the offense completely disappeared. 0 runs for the 8th time this season and the 3rd time since the All-Star break has ended. Again, the Tigers elected to not go at a bat because they were comfortable with Zach McKinstry and Javier Baez on the left side of the infield. Both those guys were all-stars. You should be fine with it. Except the Tigers are getting the least amount of production from the third base spot offensively across Major League Baseball right now. Zach McKinstry is a great feel-good story. He's a great utility guy to have. He can play anywhere. We all know why Zach McKinstry is awesome. He's not up to standards of other World Series contending third basemen. Is that fair to say? Hope so. They get shut out. The offense disappears. They do that sometimes. And once again, how does the game end? Juan Duran coming in, arguably the best closer that got moved at the deadline, goes to Philly, and once again shuts down this Tigers team. The only part that sucked, even more than Friday night, was it was Carpenter, Torkelson, and Green that he shut down very quickly. Green goes down on a K, his 147th of the year. Heart of the lineup, shut down by one of the best relievers in baseball that the Tigers did not go get. The irony in that, watching him come out in a night game with that electric entrance and the spider going across this video board, that stung, guys. That could have been the Tigers. Maybe not with Duran, but with Bednar, with Helsley. They could have went and got one of these lights-out relievers. Meanwhile, your lights-out reliever, Will Vest, pooped down his pants this weekend. Not once, but twice. They did not pass this test, unfortunately. And they've only got one more test the rest of August, and that's the Houston Astros, the 18th, 19th, and 20th. I really wish, guys, I was sitting here talking about a series win. They beat the Phillies. We're back on the bandwagon. That's unfortunately not what it is. Scott Harris told us he thought that there was moves available for them to make that could haunt the Tigers for years to come because of the prospects that they gave up. I'm sitting here telling you, it's not the prospects giving them up that's going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. It's not being aggressive at the deadline. That is what is going to haunt this Tigers season for years to come. You were in the driver's seat the entire first half. The driver's seat. You were the best team. And you got too comfortable at the top. Everyone else is caught up. And that's the unfortunate part right now. I'm not going to sit here and rip the Tigers every day the rest of the season for not going all in at the deadline, but this weekend specifically hit home. I don't want to do it every day. But I'm speaking from the heart on this one. That sucked. And Scott Harris not being all in, or even half in at the deadline, is going to cost the Tigers this season. And I'm still upset about it, even, 4 days removed from the deadline. 989-837-6125. I promise we'll twist this thing positive. I'm not going to have a show where I just sit here and complain the entire time. Just needed to get that off my chest.